My husband is an engineer and pays all the main house bills, including the mortgage, electricity, and water. He has a retirement account and a nice emergency fund for our family. He has no debt. He pays most of the groceries and gas. We have 2 kids, so I work part-time at a vet clinic and have 2 other side hustles. I do pet sitting and have a small business where I sell soap, art, and teach classes. My small business doesn't profit towards our family yet, since most of my income goes back into the business. I imagine I will have profit next year. I pay my own bills, and I feel like I just can't get ahead because a lot of the large expenses are court-related from a previous relationship. Okay, so do you have any advice how to manage this? I'm currently not saving any money, and I work my buns off to pay these bills for them to just kind of maintain where they are, and I can't get ahead.
Wow.
Okay. Well, this is there's multiple layers we could go here, Jade.
Yes.
So my highest layer, what I would say is, it's a mantra we talk a lot about on this show, and
yes,
that is that you guys need to work together. I mean, you are acting financially here like roommates, that he pays these bills, I pay those. That's what I literally did in college when I lived in an apartment. We split it like 4 things. Someone was in charge of the paper towels. Someone was in charge of like everyone had their own divvied up thing, and that's how you live. This is not how you live with your spouse, with someone that you are married to, that you're sharing a life with, and that's for multiple reasons. So we could, you can cut me off, Jade, because this is like my soapbox.
No, girl, you go, girl.
But I'm like, it is a financial mistake, number one. We can go there because
I agree.
You just can't get ahead financially as this woman is experiencing. So it is harder to get ahead financially when you are not putting all of your money into one pile and saying, hey, where are we going to divvy this up, and working as a team. So the financial setback is very real. And then there's the emotional setback that I think is very true. Now, I always caveat this. If you are in a relationship that maybe you're separated, it is heading, you're going to serve papers, or there's abuse, there's addiction. Like, there are definitely caveats that you want to protect yourself and set a boundary. We are not
100%. Mad
at that. But for the couples out there that are just living their life on 2 separate tracks just because in the name of trust, maybe there are trust issues, or in the name of independence, whatever the thing is. Yeah. We beg you to be like, let's just.
We beg of you.
We do. We beg of you to say, let's work together because of that other aspect, which is the emotional side. Yeah. That when you see yourself as a team, when you trust the other person so much that you're sharing a very, very, valuable asset in your life, which is your money, but you have that ability to have that level of communication, trust, intimacy that is created when you work together. So
I agree. And, like you said, this originally came from the Baby Steps community, and the comments there was a lot of comments on it. And, I think, one of them was like, hey, I just want financial advice. I don't want marriage advice. And so, Rachel, a lot of times people do separate those categories and they don't see it as the same thing. It's like, no, it's like that compartmentalization of, this is my marriage, this is my job, this is, and it's like, it's not really like that. All of that stuff bleeds together. And when you try to keep it so separate, I just have practical questions, honestly, because I'm like, really? If you're can I just play this out?
Go, Jay.
If I'm in a marriage and let's just say I'm doing great, I'm making my money, I don't have a lot of debt, but let's just say Sam Warshaw, he's not making so much money, he's got a little bit of debt, and I say, hey, let's go out to dinner. What does that look like?
What do you do?
Am I ordering the tomahawk steak and he's ordering a side salad? Yes. And I'm just eating and looking at him like, well, you just need to get your money in check. What does that look like? What does it look like if 1 month it's just tight for him and his side of the rent or his side of the mortgage is
or the
late?
Bills that he's supposed to pay, the water, whatever. Yeah.
I just feel like that. I mean, marriage has its own difficulties.
Yep.
As in and of itself.
Yes.
I just feel like that would add such a level of stress and strain, and like, you owe me, and like your spouse could become your debt collector. Your spouse could become the
saying? Person you owe money to.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a horrible thing for intimacy in a marriage to be like, oh, I'm avoiding you because I owe you the rent.
Yep.
Is this I need people to take to the comments on this, because I need to understand, is this real? Is this what people are facing?
Yep.
When they don't combine their finances? I'm like, we share a bed.
Yes.
I
know, we laugh all the
carried your
time.
children.
Like our DNA is together running around in this child.
Yes.
Right? I mean, like there is so much here.
Yes, but you won't put your $5 over in my account, or
Yes,
you won't.
right.
Come on.
And
help me.
if it is trust issues, then those are the issues that you need to face. Because I hear so often, Jade, like, gosh, and I still see it in my comments all the time because I get so much hate for this. But people are like, well, we fought all the time when our money was together. Now that we've separated, we don't fight. And I'm like, yeah, because you're avoiding the issue. So actually your fighting was creating some level of conflict, which in turn is some level of intimacy of you actually having to deal with issues.
Such a good point.
Than just completely just ignoring it. And so, and what scares me about that is we talked about in the first segment how we're creatures of habit. When that starts to be in one area of your marriage that you're compartmentalizing, like you're saying, you can't compartmentalize that. It will seep into other areas of your marriage too. So there's just this, and so if you are out there and maybe, it's even like, this lady in the baby steps community that posted this, and you find yourself, I can't combine accounts with my spouse. Mm-hmm. Ask yourself why. Yeah. Actually, what is it? Is it fear from a past relationship? Because that's real. People have gotten, screwed over in a divorce. Like something has happened in their past.
Let's talk about
legitimate.
that first. Let's talk about that for a second, because I follow several different finance pages online, and one of them, the girl I follow, she very much wants to help women feel empowered so they don't get screwed if it goes down in a divorce. Yeah. Because that's what happened to her.
Yes.
And my thing is, like, if you do this the right way, you shouldn't get screwed. Your name, if you are an active participant in the finances,
your name will be on the mortgage. Yes.
Your name is on the mortgage. If you have the 401k, he's listed as your beneficiary. If he has it, it's everything is handled to the point where you're listed on everything that you should be listed on along with him. So I don't really see how that argument fleshes out of if there's a divorce, he'll clean you out or she'll clean you out. Does that make sense?
Yes. And unless it's a situation, which I know happens. We've had callers on the show where there is a level of major control from one spouse. There's abuse that's played in that.
Yes.
And they clean out the account. You're right. Like there's that. But if you're in that situation, you don't want to combine accounts.
That's right.
I would separate. If you're in a marriage that there's danger for you, we
that's
don't
abuse.
want you. Yes, we don't want you combining accounts with a person like that. So, but again, like you're saying, overall, it's so hard. And then another thing, Jay, that I hear, this is so tactical and so shallow compared to everything we were talking about.
Come on, let's get it.
But I get this a lot too. Well, how can I buy a gift for my spouse? How can we
That's that's great.
So again, on a tactile side, you guys, get a Visa gift card.
Okay.
Your anniversary's coming up. Yeah. It's not like it's going to be a surprise. Yeah. So talk about it. Or birthdays, whatever. Most of these life events are not surprises. They're dates on the calendar that you're both very aware of. Or if it is, something that's secretive, just say, hey, and maybe blow the surprise a little bit and just say, I want to do something for you. This amount's coming out for a Visa gift card. Just so you know, I'm going to go and buy some stuff with there's ways around it. So don't let that silly, stupid excuse stop you from the intimacy that's created in actually having a marriage where you're one.
I agree.
So.